Hey, what's up guys, the boss here. Welcome back to a brand new video here on my channel. Today I'm gonna show you how I was able to control the insane airwaves inside of the Leftover Legion, which is the latest map published in the Thanksgiving period here in Survival Arena. The reason why I'm doing this is because this simple strategy I'm gonna share with you will probably guarantee the first place for you. Obviously you can see that this is basically not a live gameplay. I recorded it on the first day this arena launched, and since I had a rough week last week and I just was tired there, I didn't feel that doing a live gameplay was the best thing to do. However, I knew that I was able to get a better score against the player who usually is on the first place here in League 5, so I couldn't resist the chance to, at least for that day, to steal the crown from Calderis. So let me start with the ingredients you definitely need to make this strategy work, and these are the missile launcher and the heavy soldier. And for the rest you pick the towers and ammunition which is working best for you, but I recommend of course the loadout I'm using here. As you know already, this gameplay was from the first day this map launched, and this means that the strategy is not perfect at the moment and you can try it also in some different way by, for example, placing the towers differently. This is just a general framework of how you can perform really good against the Leftover Legion, so there is still some room for improvements, but anyways, let's get straight into it and check out what I was doing here. So the first thing you gotta do is search for a round where the airwave is coming in at the latest point in time, so just press play and go back until you find one. For me it worked out quite well when the airwaves came after wave 15. This may take a while, but it's definitely helping a lot since you can focus in those rounds on setting up all your ground defense. Once you found a good ground, we start splitting up this map into 3 parts. So we are having an area where we control and deal with the airwaves, so only missile launchers in that area. Then we're gonna build in area 2 a small maze to deal with the ground waves and some hero waves, and last but not least we're gonna have an open part which is responsible for letting later boss waves get straight to this Geisha generator. Like I said before, we are having an airwave coming in pretty late, so we can focus first of all on our ground defense and the maze building. So we're having a couple mortars at the bottom of the map, and to make sure that we're able to deal with the boss wave, we're going to support that maze with the void ray. Also, to make sure that the troops won't make it easily to the generator, we are also placing a couple of heavy soldiers there as well. But keep in mind, we still have to prepare for the airwaves, so we definitely need to save some gears up for that while grinding through all the previous waves. Now in the first waves we built 2 areas, the one with the maze which is on the left side and the other one on the bottom right. And once you feel secure and think that you don't need to place any further ground defenses, you can start building the air defense part on top of the map, starting by placing 2 missile launchers right next to the entrance and the other 4 ones at least 1 tile away from those ones, basically just like I did here, and make sure to upgrade them as well as long as you have the time for it, because later on when airwaves are coming in you want to control them and you'll be busy with that. Now in wave 15 we're going to face the 3rd boss wave, but there's a problem, and that is the large amount of heavy soldiers in our defense, and when the boss wave gets to them it'll take them out most certainly. Since heavy soldiers are quite expensive, we don't want to waste any gears on placing some new ones to compensate for our lost defensive power. That's why we'll open up a direct path to the generator by selling that mortar at the bottom, to make sure that the boss wave will easily reach it without getting in contact with our troops. And now the interesting part will follow up. Let me show you how you can control the airwaves. So when the airwaves spawn, we immediately use our furry skull to make sure that we take the opponents out as fast as possible, and due to our good placement of the missile launchers, the turkey shots won't affect those other missile launchers at all, which would be the case if you place them right next to each other due to the splash damage these units are doing. So we just need to replace one of them and can continue afterwards. However, this is getting a bit more harder once you make it to higher waves, as airwaves are getting stronger. Just using the furry skull is not good enough to get on a high score, and on top of that, it's important to make sure that the ground troops which come with the airwaves don't do damage to the generators. So now multitasking skills are important, which can sometimes be a little bit tricky, but once you get a routine going on there, it's not that hard. So once you make it to a higher level and an airwave is approaching, you consistently need to press the furry skull button and have a closer look at the 2 missile launchers on top of the map. Once one goes down, you immediately need to replace it by a new one, because that causes that the air troops will remain on the same spot. The other missile launchers have then enough time to take them out, and since all the troops are on one spot, the splash damage of the missile launchers proves itself to be pretty effective, and that's basically how you control the airwave. Just build another missile launcher once one goes down. This is important because once you forget to place one and the air units start to move on, they will spread out, and therefore splash damage is not that effective anymore as it was before, and as a result you eventually will lose your towers and also the battle. So make sure to pay a lot of attention to that. Also, it's important to save up a lot of gears in all the waves before, because at some point you need to build a new missile launcher quite frequently, and here in this matchup it turned out to be completely insane. From wave 21 to wave 28 I had 6 air waves coming up and only 2 ground waves, so you can imagine how many gears were necessary to just survive those waves. This might have been also the reason why the score of this particular round was not that extremely high, because of course the gears were missing then for facing off the other waves which came later on and of course were a lot harder. So this is basically the key to make this strategy work. At some point however you'll run out of gears and of the furry skull of course. And then I just can advise fight until the end and use the mortar instead of the missile launcher for replacing the destroyed tower, which has more health and in addition is cheaper, and this might give the opportunity to survive a couple more rounds. Each wave more survived means a higher score, and especially in such a nice event where you can get the Turkinator, it's definitely worth it to achieve the maximum score in each round played. But as I said before, you always need to pay attention as well on the ground units, which tend to get through the army of heavy soldiers quite often. So the snowball helps quite a lot to freeze them on the spot, which helps your towers and the heavy soldiers to have some additional seconds to take them out. And also the ability of Tane is very helpful, because with his ability he can stun the group of ground units, which has basically the same effect on the match like the snowball. Also the splash damage of Tane has the same impact on the turkey, similar to the one of the heavy soldier, which means you can optimize your score with him too. So this is everything you need to know to just dominate this arena, and for me the match ended after 462 kills because I wasn't paying enough attention to the ground units I just warned you from. As you can see, that one turkey with just a little bit of health left made it to the generator and stole my last heart of this round, which fortunately was at that moment a good enough score to get on the first place and win it in the end. If you've been wondering about what you get when you win the first spot another time after you've gotten already the Turkinator, let me answer that question for you. So I was getting, besides of the reward chest and the sky shards, a full Cloudbeard's chest, which is obviously awesome because it's giving me a lot of cards, sky shards and everything that comes with it. Alright, so that's gonna do it for this video basically. To wrap it up, check for the latest wave possible before you enter an arena. Don't forget to control the airwaves and have a close eye on the ground units to make everything work inside of this strategy. If you've enjoyed this video and think it was helpful, show it by smashing the like button, which also makes me happy. Post your score with that strategy into the comments to show others that it's working quite well. And that's gonna do it for this video guys. Have a great day, peace out.